Welcome to Cultivate Communications' latest podcast series, 7 Steps to Accelerate Sales. Your hosts, Ethan Vandehey and Bob Wendt, will take you inside the 7 critical steps you can take to fast-track your revenue growth. You'll learn a proven marketing process that will take your sales to new heights. Today, they'll be examining the 4th step, embracing change management, where you'll learn how to align the sales and marketing departments so you can increase conversion rates. Here are Ethan Vandehey and Bob Wendt.
Hello everybody, I'm Ethan Vandehey and this is Bob Wendt, and welcome to episode 4, and this is called Change Management. In the previous videos, we talked about covering the first 3 steps, which were go-to-market planning, as you see above in our fun little picture, ideal customer profile, and customer experience. We dove into those and had a lot of fun. And this 4th one, we're going to be talking about change management. And this is going to be methods for achieving not only a couple of things here, but alignment and diving into various departments. So Bob, kind of dive into this a little bit more for us. What really makes this so important, and what should we really focus on covering in today's session?
So change management really comes down to creating alignment between what your efforts are on the sales side and what your efforts are on the marketing side. And what we find is the most successful companies have figured out how those 2 departments can work together in a revenue-focused environment to accelerate their growth. So, what we're going to cover today is just some ideas to kind of get you started. It's really an organizational change. It's really a different approach in how you kind of go to market, what's important to you as an entity that's trying to grow, and then how you can kind of navigate through that. So the worksheet that's in front of you kind of gives you a few pointers in how to go forward, but I can't emphasize enough how important sales and marketing alignment is. What we find with companies that really have those 2 groups working very, very closely together, you just have this fluidity of information, common sense of purpose with regards to what the objectives are. And then that sharing of information just makes for a much stronger marketing approach that really is there to support what the salespeople are trying to do.
Yeah, and from my background and my previous experience, I've been a part of some organizations where the sales and marketing teams have been kind of, separate and not aligned and working cohesively together. So how can we make sure this is able for them to come together, and how can we help make them not seem so independent?
Mm-hmm. So again, it's really a culture change. For the most part, it's really a top-down approach to making these 2 groups of people in alignment, in sync. And a lot of times that starts with a revenue objective, a revenue goal that they're charged with together, trying to figure out really how they're going to accomplish that. And so again, each person has a unique role, and they're just much, much stronger together than they are apart. Sales is the engine, right? Mm-hmm. But you really cannot scale strictly on sales alone. Marketing can reach dramatically more people. It can really solidify the messaging. And again, when those 2 groups work together, it's really the choreograph of those efforts that really drive accelerated sales growth.
Yeah, for sure. And you kind of talked about it there. You said, sales growth is going to happen when they work together, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the plan of this worksheet. So how else can this worksheet help the listeners and the viewers watching?
So the worksheet's really a guideline, right? A guidepost to kind of walk you through. You can't do change management through a worksheet. It's intended to really kind of just frame the critical parts of what change management is about and kind of give you, some guideposts to move things through. So the first thing you have to do is kind of unfreeze the current culture, right? You really have to, as a leader or an influencer within your business, really kind of push the envelope on how these 2 entities can work together and what steps need to be taken. So you need to educate people, you need to inform people, you really need to kind of show them what a sales and marketing aligned company can do. So the next part of that is implementation, change for implementation. So again, the worksheets are going to kind of give you some high points on resource allocation, on how these two groups can work together, what encouragement looks like, what coaching looks like, what training looks like, and the communication between those two organizations again starts from the top, but on a day-to-day basis really has to be hammered out between those groups. So the third piece of the puzzle is the stickiness, right? What are you going to do to get them, these changes to stick? And it really comes down to KPIs, measurements. For the companies that we find to have a lot of success, it starts with a top-down objective. It's really, having a revenue objective or goal that everybody's working to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And again, sales, marketing, service, product development, as we talked in other videos, the more you can kind of get all those on the same page, the more successful you're going to be, the more you're capable of leveling up your efforts to achieve what you're trying to get done.
Yeah, so in your experience and your background in sales and marketing, is there, looking at this change management worksheet we put together, is there something that sticks out to you in particular?
I think really the critical part is the culture change. I mean, if you can't get buy-in and a really committed effort to change organizationally, getting it, coached out, getting it trained up, getting it measured is really it's not gonna stick. It's not gonna work. And that has to come from the top down. Organizationally, everybody's got to just commit to this change and understand the real value of how sales and marketing alignment can be beneficial.
Yeah, it really seems like there's so much to accomplish in this worksheet alone. And is there anything else, Bob, that you think that the listeners or the viewers watching this fourth episode should really understand in the change management worksheet?
So again, the worksheet is really difficult. It's really challenging to take such a huge objective and boil it down into a worksheet. So really it's just intended to kind of give you a roadmap, give you a little bit of idea of kind of what you need to do as you progress through trying to change your organization to create that level of alignment. So it's a great topic. It's in the middle, and everything up in front of it or behind it kind of hinges on your ability to do that change management. So it's a great worksheet to use. If you need some help or some guidance, in any kind of aspects, please call us. The balance of the worksheets that we're talking about today are available to you on the website, 7stepstoaccelerate.sales.com. And then the next workshop we're going to do is about validating your unique value prop. So we'll talk to you in the next video.
You've just finished watching Step 4 of the 7 Steps to Accelerate Sales podcast with your hosts, Ethan Vandehey and Bob Wendt. Next on deck is Step 5 in our series, Validating Your Unique Value Proposition. Bob and Ethan will help you determine the true value in your offering. Remember, you can download all of the worksheets for the entire series and watch other step videos as they are available at 7stepstoaccelerate.sales.com.